Golf-specific exercise and fitness is becoming a lot more popular. But what exercises should you as a golfer be actually doing to improve your game? Well, in this video, I'm going to go through some of the main exercises that I believe to be the most efficient and effective for improving swing speed, reducing injury, and improving your golf performance. Welcome back to Macro Golf Online YouTube. Today we're talking about what exercises are the best for golfers to be performing either in the gym, at home, or as part of their exercise and fitness regimes. Now, to start talking about what exercises are the best for something, we need to think what it is that we're actually trying to perform, right? And golf is a really complicated version of that because not only do we have the golf swing, but we've also then got the kind of event or task of playing a full 18 holes of golf. So not only do we need to be able to swing a golf club really quickly in a short amount of time, we also need to be able to walk a considerable distance and kind of last over 4 hours of duration. But to start, I just want to talk about the golf swing as an actual movement. So the actual swinging of the golf club, forgetting everything else as part of the game. Now, this is a powerful, explosive movement that is going to require strength and power. Now, if we talk about strength movements, we can do this easier by dividing it actually into kind of movements rather than into exercises. And then from the movements that we know that we need to perform, we can then start to think about some exercises that might be able to work through those movements. So in terms of the main movements that I want you to think about and come away from this video, is going to be your squat, your hinge, your lunge, your push, and your pull. So they're going to be your 5 main movements you're going to think about performing. But just to make this a little bit more golf specific, we're also going to include rotation in that as well. So now we know our 6 main movements that we want to perform, it then becomes a lot easier for us to think of some exercises that we can do to work on one or multiple versions of those 6 movements. Now, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of exercises that could be performed to work on these 6 movements. So it's very difficult to say what the best exercise would be because I feel like that's going to be quite dependent on what equipment you have access to, your training history, what movements are available to you in terms of what positions you can get your body into, and also personal preference comes into it as well, as if kind of what movements do you like to perform in the gym, what exercise do you like to do. So some examples of exercises you can do within these 6 movements, there are endless number of exercises you could do for these movements, but here are some of my favorites. So for example, for the squat movement, I really like a back squat, so barbell back squat would be my preferred choice, and I would always recommend that would be included in people's programming unless there's some specific reason why it wouldn't be. In terms of the hinge, I really like a deadlift position. In terms of lunge, I like any type of loaded lunge position. In terms of pushing, bench press or shoulder press is great, and in terms of pulling, either a horizontal kind of pull movement like a single arm row, or some kind of vertical pulling movement like a pull up or a lap. Now, probably thinking we've already got to the purpose of this video and there's some exercises you can go away and do, but the reason why I wanted to put this video together is you'll notice that with those movements, none of those have been included in some kind of golf specific context. And I think it's really important to mention in this video, and it's kind of the main reason why I wanted to do this video, is a lot of exercises we're seeing, a lot of exercises we get kind of portrayed to us via maybe social media of what golfers are doing are all very, very golf specific exercises or kind of manipulations of the golf swing in the gym. And my problem with this is, if we only go and do that, we're kind of ignoring all of these other massive kind of low-hanging fruit foundations of strength that we can build through these normal kind of common routine exercises. But there is some benefit to having some kind of rotational work, as I've added that in as our 6th kind of movement. So you might include some golf-specific work in the program that you do, but the most important thing is that you get strong in those main 5 movements. So how they might look in terms of your programming will vary, but we've kind of got our main versions of all of these kind of the exercises for the movement, and then there's plenty of variations, hundreds if not thousands of variations of all of these movements as we go through. So what is going to be important for you is to find out the movements that you like to do, or the movements based on the equipment you have access to, or the movements that are available to you, and then finding your versions of those main exercises for each movement, but just making sure that you have an exercise or at least a selection of exercises that cover each of those movements. And what's also important is to be able to make sure that you're getting stronger in all of those movements as well. So for example, if you choose a press up is useful. It's a bodyweight exercise that can be used as a pushing movement, but it's very hard to add extra load to that movement of the push-up. So there'll become a point where you need to start programming that different to make sure you're still getting the progressive overload of the pushing movement and keep getting stronger. But again, this all comes down to what access to equipment you have, what ability you have, your current strength levels, and so many other factors. Once you feel like you're good with all that and you feel like you've kind of covered a lot of the basic movements and you're pretty strong in all of these positions, you can start to move on to some more complicated work, like for example doing cleans or jerks or some other Olympic lifting. But it's always kind of a thing you can move on to once you've already built a solid foundation. You can also look at some other power work like explosive jumps or moving weight faster in these positions and start to move on to some power stuff. But a lot of the time the movements are the movements and we're just getting strong and we're getting powerful in those movements. But what's also worth noting is there's this whole other side to golf which can also be of detriment. So you find a lot of people very, very good on the driving range. As soon as they get on the course, the fatigue starts to hit them come hole 14, come hole 15, and that actually has a big influence on the scores that they produce. So when we talk about what exercises are good for golf, yes, we've got our gym exercises that we've spoken about in terms of strength, but there's also be an element of maintaining a good level of health, fitness, and well-being to make sure that you can confidently walk, preferably even carry for 18 holes. And what that might look like, it's going to vary for what you enjoy. For me, I always recommend walking. I think the more walking you can do, it's going to be great for you. It's as specific as you can get for golf. But if you prefer swimming, cycling, whatever you want to do, anything that's going to involve some kind of general health, fitness, and well-being. So my advice to you, if you are totally new to exercise and at the moment all you do is play golf, is almost ignore every type of golf specific fitness thing that you see and just go and start working on your strength, your health, and your well-being. If you can improve all of those aspects and improve a little bit of rotation in that as well, you will see significant differences not only in your golf but also in your general health and lifestyle. So when we're talking about what exercises are good for golf, I prefer to say what exercises are good for golfers, and golfers need the exercises that all humans need. We need to get strong, we need to make sure we're loading, and we need to make sure we're moving in all 5 of those positions. What golfers are also going to need is a little bit of golf specific work to maybe help them get through some of those movements and improve some of the kind of more intricate movements in the golf swing, but it should only be an addition to all of the solid foundational work that they're already doing. So if you've got any questions on what exercises would be good for you and any kind of looking for any advice on any of this stuff, I always welcome everybody to come and join us over at Team Macro Golf. I'll stick a link to that in the bottom of this caption. And over there, we can kind of get all of these questions answered for you. There's loads of free content in terms of exercise plans, mobility plans, and loads of kind of articles and videos similar to this one to help you on your golf fitness journey. If you learned something today that you found useful in this video, it'd be great for me if you hit the like button, share it with someone that you think would get some benefit from this video as well. And also remember to subscribe as well so you get notified if you click the bell of all of these videos as they're released. But until then guys, I'll see you on the next video.